Hello, hello, and welcome to Unleashing the Power in Voices event. I am so thrilled to have you here for today's event. I totally gave in to peer pressure of my speakers and I decided to go all out and bedazzle myself. So I hope you like my new outfit. I don't have much hair anymore, but I do have sparkles. So you are going to be meeting some of our incredible speakers today. Let me know what you think. Maybe I should do my bedazzle a bit more often. Yes, today is all about Unleashing the Power of Women Voices event, and I'm so thrilled to have you here and so many of our speakers who are chosen speakers for the Women Thrive Summit 2025. Now, if you're just joining us right now, I want to welcome you and I want to invite you to say hello in a chat. Let me know where in the world you're joining from, and I'd love to get to know a little bit about you. Let us know what you do. Today is going to be incredible. We already had this event this morning and it was mind blowing. And I always say we never quite prepare what the theme of the day is going to be like, but we always have an underlining theme that runs throughout the event. I don't know what that is today yet, but you'll get to find out as we unleash the Power Room Voices event. Now, this morning we've spoken about overcoming adversities, because let's face it, we might be here smiling, laughing, giggling, and going all out in the world, speaking our truth, speaking about the things that we are on a mission about. But to get to where we are today, it has not come easy. I know we all face challenges. I know we might have all go through difficult situations in life. And what makes it a little bit easier is when you come into spaces like this and you realize that you are not alone on your journey. You're not alone. And I know a lot of people just want to get to the top, they want to get to the success, get to the final destination. But the truth is, you got to go through that journey. And it's the journey where all the amazing things happen. This is where the transformation happens, the growth, the learning, the jewels of the whole experience. And usually, without the setbacks, without the challenges, you wouldn't be where you are today. It is through those setbacks, it is through those challenges that we actually find our own strength and we find our new purpose and meaning in life. So today's event is all about you meeting incredible speakers from the Women Thrive Summit. I am so excited because you're going to get to know them. And they are selected speakers for the Women Thrive Summit that happens once a year in March to celebrate women's empowerment event. So I am so keen to hear where you're from. We got Joseph here from Vancouver, Cassandra from Woodland, Texas. Nikki is joining us. Looking forward. Yeah, Nikki was here this morning. Actually, she gave an amazing opening talk for the event. So we are going to invite our first speaker. But before we begin, I want to invite you to share something in the chat. Let us know what is it that you do, where you're from, and maybe you're here to support somebody. Let us know. So yes, Nikki is in Turkey indeed. We were just having a little dance before this began, and the song that I always love to come on stage is called Coming Out by Diana Ross. And for me, this song really represents us as women coming out of a shell into our own power, into our feminine essence, into our power to impact the world through who we are. And it's about becoming who you're always meant to be. So we've done a little dance behind the scenes, and I will invite you to have a little dance. We can't play any music due to copyright, but I hope you truly enjoy this event and you find something here that inspires you, motivates you to take that next step, to dream a little bigger, to take life and your ideas into reality of whatever it is that you're wanting to do. And these women that you're going to meet today, they have been through their own journeys, they have been through their own challenges, but they stepped out and they achieved something. So I'm really thrilled to have them here. If you're joining us live right now, let us know where you're from. And I am going to invite my first speaker, and I hope you like my bedazzles. I'm loving it. I love it. Cassandra here in the green rooms approves it, so I'll take that. Hi, Cassandra.
Hi. Yes, I love the sparkles. Are you kidding me? All the time. Do them all the time.
Cassandra, why the sparkles? Why the bedazzles?
Oh, because to lighten life. To play, to lighten life, be connected to your inner child, have more play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when I jumped in and you were in a green room with all your sparkles, I was like, hey, I've got some too. Should we do
I know.
it? And it was just like moment of madness.
Yes, it was so good. And those are so pretty. It looks like a crown.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Oh, thank you. So yeah, it was totally Cassandra's fault, but I love it.
As it should be. We should all be wearing
Oh,
our crystals and our sparkles and our crowns.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I can't wait to hear you talk in just a few moments. So,
Mhm.
Cassandra, we'll see you in a bit. But thank you for inspiring me to go all out and sparkle today.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, well, let's kick it off. If you're ready to hear from our speakers, put something in the chat. Ah, look at Cassandra. She's got a
Yeah, I got
crown.
a crown. Here, I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
I think you should be co-hosting with me, Cassandra. I'm missing my co-host today. You should be co-hosting it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can. What time does this end? Maybe I can do that. I can do it. Yeah, I can co-host with you. Let's go.
Let's go.
Go.
Well, I'll introduce our first speaker, and then we'll invite Cassandra to introduce our next speaker. How about that?
Sounds good.
You up for that? Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So let's meet our first speaker, 𝐲𝐨𝐬 Devian. So 𝐲𝐨𝐬 is a dedicated angel therapy practitioner with an unwavering passion for helping individuals connect with the angelic realm to unlock daily guidance from the angels in their lives. With a deep-rooted love for working with people, 𝐲𝐨𝐬 is on a mission to assist them in discovering their true gifts and purpose in life. So let's welcome 𝐲𝐨𝐬 to the stage. Hi.
Hello. Thank you so
Hi,
much for having
𝐲𝐨𝐬.
me.
Where are you joining from?
Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Lovely. We didn't send out a memo for Bedazzle today for the outfits.
Yeah, I
We're
was
so
saying I
sorry.
feel a bit underdressed.
How about we make it a Christmas special for
I like
for our
that.
showcase event?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. There's no shortage of Christmas at my house, so that'd be easy.
Amazing. Cool. Definitely do that. Well, 𝐲𝐨𝐬, don't want to distract you from your talk. So over to you, and I'll be back to have a chit chat with you at the end.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I want you to allow me to take you on a journey. One of empowerment and transformation through the angelic realm. One of remembrance and a rediscovery of your spiritual gifts. Breathe with me now, a deep belly full of potential and nourishment. And let's tap in. Who are you? Who do you wish to be? Are you sitting there knowing that you're meant for more? That you've barely scratched the surface of your potential and you need the guidance to do so? Who are you? Many of us are in a time of remembrance, a time of seeking connection with ourselves and looking for the path to do so. Many wondering how we are to do this, yet we hear the call and we notice the gentle nudges. In the angelic realm, the angels know your true potential. They know who you are, who you have been, and who you are meant to be. And they are standing by, willing and able to guide you on this journey, helping you to rediscover. The angels are not restricted by time or space, nor religion, cultural, or traditional beliefs. They are pure, divine beings of love and light who reside in the spirit realm, and they vibrate at a higher vibrational frequency than we currently experience on Earth. And with this knowledge, this access to the angels, they can guide you into your spiritual gifts and help you to fully embrace them. Some believe that angels are only here for some of us, or that they only help us when we're in imminent danger or of urgent need. But the angelic realm is available to us all, and they are here for everyone. We just have to ask. It's like following a trail of breadcrumbs, a natural unfolding of events that lead you to your destination. Have you ever had an experience where you arrived at a certain place or event in your life and you were able to trace back the path, see the events that brought you there, yet they only became clear once you had arrived? It's actually pretty cool. A time that this happened for me was just after my mother had passed. I was in an airport, ready to board my flight. The days leading up to this had been mind-numbing. I had been moving through them like a deer in headlights, not really sure what to do. In fact, my sister had to tell me to book the flight, make the arrangements for the kids, and get on the damn plane. So here I was waiting in the airport at the Starbucks counter for my coffee, and I met this woman. She asked me about the book I was holding and was I enjoying it. We had instantly connected. We discovered that we lived in the same town and ended up exchanging numbers to connect when we returned from our trips. It was a magical and beautiful connection, and one that I instantly saw how I had been led there. I had taken my kids to a movie, and instead of driving home, I just decided to wait in a little cafe in the bookstore. I ended up sitting facing the self-help section, and this book title caught my eye. I thought, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if the library has it. When I got home, I checked, and they did, and so I took that book out. Then as I was packing for my trip, I was wondering, well, what book should I take with me to read on the plane? This particular book called to me, but it was too big to fit in my carry-on, so I actually had to carry it by hand, hence holding it so that this lady could see it. My coffee order had been delayed as they had made the wrong drink and it had to be redone. Otherwise, I would have been gone from the counter before this lady came by. Once I saw all the small steps that had led me there, I was absolutely amazed. I could not have imagined or predicted how this book, or simply taking the kids to a movie, would bring me to this moment. It was magical, it was wonderful, and it was needed. And it's how the angels work, guiding us one step at a time, not always revealing the full picture, but leaving us the breadcrumbs to follow. Having to trust, allowing ourselves to pick them up and just follow. Not always knowing that final destination. When people come to me, they don't always know exactly what they need. They just know that they want change and that they are yearning for something else, a sense of purpose, a connection that allows them to impact others and shine in their everyday lives. And they want to know that they are not alone. The angelic realm instantly provides you with a multitude of angels and a comfort in knowing that you are not alone, that loving guidance is available to you, especially you. And bringing that angelic energy into your daily life not only empowers you, but creates more confidence, expansion, and vision in your life. It enables you to create what you want with ease and trust the process in doing so. With their support, it is a natural and rewarding unfolding of who you are and reconnecting with who she is, facilitating that opportunity for remembrance, for the blossoming of the flower that you are, and resiliently embracing your full potential, your spiritual gifts, and all that you are. So, when I say, "Who are you?" you may not currently know, but she is there, and the angels know, and they invite you to step into their realm and let them help you rediscover her.
Oh, I love that, Kaylee. How are you? That's beautiful. The angels and synchronicity and divine appointment. That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Kaylin? Can you hear me? Oh no. I don't think you can hear me.
Kayleen, can you hear us?
Oh, she can't hear us. Oh no.
Hi, Kayleen.
No, I can't hear Cassandra.
Oh.
Oh no. Okay. I think Kayleen can't hear us, so unless this is so incredible. It's never happened. It's so interesting. I can see 111 as in how many people are watching us across different platforms. And as many of you may know, 111 is angel numbers. And sometimes, as Kayleen was saying, the synchronicities of how things come into life and even just divine intervention of what's going on here right now. And I'm sure many of you couldn't help but notice Kayleen getting teary and also upset during her talk. And it shows not only that it means so much, but there is still healing to do. And it's not easy when we lose someone. And even though we may know that they are in a spiritual realm, it's still not easy for us. Cassandra, what did you take away from Kayleen's talk?
Oh gosh, I just loved it so much because that's been like my life too, is like tuning more into the angelic realms and then divine synchronicity and divine appointments. There's so many moments of magic in my life where like my intuition kind of nudged me to go to a place, and then I met a person or I saw a book and it led me to something else. And it's like the little breadcrumbs that there's more here than just us, guiding us and here for support. One of the things though is you have to be open to ask for that help because of free will. So to open yourself up to the divine, you actually have to ask for them to help. And so I just love that she supports people in reconnecting to that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like it's always that you meet someone at particular point, and it's like you wonder why that even happened. But that actually happened to me when I traveled somewhere. I met someone that completely opened my mind to also the spiritual realm, and there has many synchronicities happened thereafter after meeting that one particular person.
She's so right though too, because like in the moment you might not recognize it's happening, and then later though when you reflect back, you're like, oh wow, that was so divinely, perfectly orchestrated, right? Like, so it's just cool that she helps people tune into that frequency because it's also the frequency of miracles.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazing. And again, in the comments, it was 11 comments, which was incredible. And those of you who do understand the numerology, 11 is a really, really powerful number. So I can't help but see these synchronicities and just numbers. It's amazing. Cassandra, as my new co-host, welcome. And to all of you who might be joining us, we are bedazzling today. So get your crowns on and join us for this incredible event. Cassandra, I'll let you introduce our next speaker.
Yay! Yes. So our next speaker is Devin Sarno, and she is a U.S. national champion public speaking coach, performer and founder of Parlay Communicators. She has over 15 years experience, and she blends her love for live performance, improv, which I love, and comedy to help others find their unique voice. Devon's engaging, passionate, and compassionate coaching style empowers individuals to express themselves confidently and authentically. Yes. Welcome, Devon. Yeah, I love
it. Yes, I love that you love improv. That makes me so happy.
Yes.
Hobby and experience. So
I think everybody should take an acting class or improv class. It's so good.
Yep. Great way to get out of your head, but also to just like acknowledge each other's humanity. It's it can be intimidating, but I think it could be really rewarding. So highly recommend everybody go do that.
Yeah, and I'm excited to hear your talk today.
Yeah. So I am coming to everybody this time from a hotel room in Fresno, California, where I have had such an amazing week meeting with other women in business and just learning from them and gaining from them. And I met a wonderful woman this week who is from Canada. And I heard that we had some Canadians listening in, and our last speaker was from Canada. And she is a scientist who engineers your energy, meaning that she breaks down the science behind energy healing so people who are super cognitive can get in their bodies because they understand it on a way that makes sense to them. And I think that's so brilliant. And her name is Karen Furlong. And why I bring Karen up is because when we met, the first evening we met and she introduced herself to the group, she opened with, "Hi, everybody, I'm Karen, but I'm not a Karen." And of course, we all laughed because it made sense. But my heart also broke a little bit in that moment for her because there was not a single other professional woman in that room that needed to open up by sort of apologizing for their name and trying to distance themselves from a label that was put on them that they don't deserve. And so I wanted to highlight the power of language and how we use it in this world because it's so transformative. The term Karen, while funny, originally started as like a joke, and then it shifted into something really important, a label for calling out racism, homophobia, prejudice, and those things should be called out. Those things should not stand and just go by the wayside. But then it slid and it kind of shifted. And this is why I'm here to speak, not just in defense of my friend, but in defense of all women everywhere. Because being a Karen is now just a new way of silencing women, which is not new at all. And so we've made it too wide of a brush. This term is now a catch-all for any sort of displeased action from a woman. If she is upset, if she is pushing it back against the status quo, if she's having a bad day and just didn't speak in the perfect, polite, society-approved tone, she's a Karen. And what has happened is we have now had women who are scared to talk in public, to speak in public, whether it be on a stage or just casually in a restaurant or in a store, because they're scared of being labeled a Karen. And so, yes, we need to call out bad things and bad behavior. But when we create these labels, especially using someone's name, all we do is repeat the past histories of creating language to minimize women. Hysterical, nagging, crazy, overly emotional. And we just minimize ourselves into boxes because we don't want that label. And the worst part is, it now minimizes the true problem, which is we have taken things like racism and made them akin to things like asking for your coffee to be remade because they're all Karens. And we've watered down what we really need to be calling out, which is bad behavior. And bad behavior has no gender. Bad behavior has no name. Bad behavior is unacceptable. And that is what it is. It's not a Karen. So I stand here today in defense of the Karens. And if that makes me one, so be it.
Love it. Devin, this is what unapologetic is all about for me.
Yeah.
Speaking our truth, speaking about, in defense of why is it that women have been labeled? Why is it that women have been silenced? Why is it that we apologize for our own existence? That's incredible.
It's so hard to say, but I think it's because we're just still in these cycles of hearing from other people that if you are not pleasing in every way, the way you look, the way you talk, the way you present yourself, you are less valuable and you will get less in life. And that is just so, I will not teach that to my daughter. She's allowed to have a bad day, and then she's allowed to take ownership for that behavior and apologize if that bad behavior didn't show her in the best light and hurt someone else. But that is not the same thing as being racist, prejudiced, bigoted. It's not. And we've got to separate this language so that we can really attack the issues that matter.
Yeah. Yeah, so important in today's world, because we let too many things slide and say it's okay or be acceptable, or, it's like, okay, we'll just let it go. Mm-hmm. Especially as women, but it kind of taps at us at deep-rooted level. And some of the social conditioning that's been going on for many, many years, it's like this morning we talked about how the social conditioning works at the childhood when you're told you're quiet. Oh, she's just quiet girl. She's just quiet girl. And Nikki was talking about that when we opened our event, actually, that's what she was told. And that's what she bought into, that narrative. So we have to be careful not only how we talk to our children, but those around us. And also, what do we as women accept? What do we really accept? The narrative that's being thrown at us by media, by social media, by our environment, and those that we connect with.
Amen. Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak in defense of my new friend, Karen.
I love that. We'll make friends with Karen. And whoever apologizes for their existence, I just want to say we've got a $5 jar donation to charity. You can pick the charity you want to donate to.
Yeah.
So if you're going to apologize for your existence, we're going to send you a $5 donation jar.
I like it. That's amazing.
Couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you have TEDx on your t-shirt?
That's so funny. When I pulled this on, because I'm in a hotel and I was being comfy. So I am a TEDx speaker coach. So this is TEDx CU out of CU Boulder, the University of Colorado Boulder. It's an amazing TEDx program. And I am a speaker coach for them. And I help people get those messages out there and on a global platform.
I love it. Amazing. Couple more questions. How do people connect with you?
Wonderful question. I have a website, parlaycommunicators.com, and that will lead you to me. There's a contact thing there. If you sign up and give me your contact info so we can have a conversation, I'll send you a free kit to learn how to have less anxiety public speaking if that's something that you deal with, because I know a lot of people do. Otherwise, you can also find me on social media platforms under my name, Devin Sarno, under LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I'm there on all of them under my name.
Amazing. Devin, what to expect at the Women Thrive Summit, as you are going to be one of our speakers?
I am talking about how to find your personal bright line, meaning how you can use your story in business without compromising your peace. Because I believe so much that stories are powerful, but I don't believe that you should be having to trauma dump or overexpose yourself in a way that doesn't build you as a person in order to use your story effectively. So I'm going to be helping anyone who comes, whether it be women, men, anyone, use their story in a business setting in a way that builds them and their brand.
I love it. Thank you so much, Devin. I appreciate you, and we'll look forward to seeing you. Enjoy your trip.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much. That was Devin Sarno, and this platform is a safe space for us as women to share our truth, speak our truth, to show up as we are unapologetically. And if there really is anybody who wants to judge or throw any comments at us, bring it on. I think these ladies are ready. We are ready. We are ready to stand up for it. Okay, our next speaker is my wonderful co-host that today has been appointed as my co-host. So bear with as I get our introduction going. In the meantime, how are you enjoying the showcase so far?
Oh, it's so I love this last talk. It was so juicy. I was like, oh, that's so good. Because yeah, people will put women in boxes to shut. We've even seen that with the election, just demonizing women. And oh, what a time to be a woman right now, right? It's like, rawr, lioness is coming out.
Listen, today we have quite a lineup. So if you're tapping in, if you're here for the day, you're gonna hear some lionesses roaring. Cassandra being one of them. And listen, Cassandra has quite a story, and I'm excited to have you on our stage today, Cassandra. I know you recently published a book. You've also shared your story on one of the social media platforms that was featured. I won't give much away because I want to hear you speak first. But Cassandra has been through life storms, and she's here to be a light for so many others. So Cassandra Love Lambert is the visionary behind 𝐶 Love. She's a trauma-trained somatic transformational coach, author, TV host, and an artist. Fully certified in clinical EFT, brain spotting, and somatic attachment therapy, Cassandra is a beacon of hope and transformation for women seeking healing and empowerment. Cassandra, welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and thank you for throwing me into being a co-host today last minute. Woohoo! All the opportunities.
Let's go. Well, over to you, my love.
Yeah. So something was actually really on my heart recently. It's like, have you ever been in a relationship where your partner does things that causes you to feel unsafe? And then you're scared, and then versus them being supportive, they antagonize you, or they get angry and rageful at you, and then they make your fears bigger and bigger, and then because your fears are getting bigger and bigger, they get angrier and angrier. Love, that is such an unsafe relationship, and that is such an unsafe partner. And this is a common trap women find themselves in who have been abused, maybe in their childhood or in the past. And it's the hardest pattern to overcome. And I know this because I've lived it. And my name is Cassandra Love Lambert, also known as 𝐶 Love. And as a child, I went through sexual abuse. I was abused from the age of 5 to 8. And and I also witnessed my mom in abusive relationships. And it really set my life on this trajectory where I just kept finding myself in abusive relationships and emotionally unsafe relationships. And it's been the hardest pattern to overcome and to get my power back from, because there's such deep seeds of unworthiness. And it can feel like torture. right? You find yourself in this type of relationship and it's torture to be in it, right? Because you're just constantly triggered, constantly in fear, constantly not feeling safe. And yet the idea of leaving this relationship is also torture because it activates those wounds, the abandonment wounds, right? Or being left alone. And it's scary either way. And what I find women do is they'll stay in what's familiar, because even though on one level it feels like torture, it feels safer to their system than the idea of leaving. And so they feel stuck. It's like a trap that's really hard to break. And sometimes women will take on this thought that, well, maybe if I just wasn't too sensitive, or maybe if I just didn't feel this way about that, and they take it on like it's all their fault, keeping them in the trap even longer. And I'm here to tell you, no, honey, that's not how it works. And I am sorry if someone's telling you that. You're not too much. You're not too sensitive. You're not too caring. And you're not crazy. Your feelings are not the enemy. They're not your enemy. And it's time to really learn how to create a safe container for yourself to thrive. And today I want to share one of my 3 keys for regaining your crown and your power. And the key I want to touch on today is boundaries. And in case you didn't know, I'm just here to tell you and remind you, you're allowed to have them. And you're allowed to have them on whatever you need. And it doesn't matter what other people think is okay. If something doesn't feel good to your system, you're allowed to have a boundary there. And it's time to look at boundaries in a new way. Okay. So looking at boundaries is more listening to your body. And so if a certain behavior, environment, or person makes your system feel so freaked out that you can't think clearly and you're just like super feeling unsafe, that is not for you. And you do not need to tolerate whatever that is. Okay. And that is a key signal that, I need to put a boundary here. Okay. And this also will support you with discernment with people, right? Because if you share with someone like, hey, that doesn't make me feel safe. What I need is this. And they disregard that. That lets you know that is not someone for your life. That's not an emotionally safe person for you. And so, versus trying to fit all these squares and circle holes and vice versa, you can honor yourself and not allow that to be in your space, because you are the queen of your autonomy and your space. And so if you say something isn't allowed, it's not allowed. And it's time to make a stand for yourself. It's time to not tolerate the emotionally unsafe people. And one of the ways you can do this is boundaries. And now let's talk about it, because what's going to come up is the fear of leaving those situations, right? And that's where the somatic work can come in, the other 2 keys that I'm going to talk about at the summit. And the combination of these things, the somatic work, the daily practice, and the boundaries, will support you in really regaining your power and your resiliency and reclaiming this crown, right? Reclaim your crown. And it's your job to do this for yourself. You might not have had a good mom, but you can be a good mom for yourself. And if you wouldn't let your daughter or your friend be in a relationship with someone like that, you shouldn't be in it either. And it's time to take a stand for yourself and reclaim that crown. Yeah.
Take your power back. Cassandra, such a powerful talk today. And I can totally resonate that, we stay in environments that don't feel safe. And it's just because mainly it's trauma that's keeping us in there. And just like Devin was saying, we just accept for too long. We accept something for too long, where we need to create boundaries and really step into our power. And today is really unleashing the voices of women, which I'm really excited, because this is what Women Thrive is all about, as a community and a safe space for women to come together to speak our truth. And I know about your story, which is unthinkable, what you had to go through in your life, really.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, because writing the book, right, it's like this journey of like revisiting things like in a time capsule. And then like I was like, can't believe I went through that, like because it's so far away. It's just like one of those things, like it's surreal. Like, how did I even get through that? But it also gives me insight to how much healing work I've done around it, because it's just so far away versus me
Yeah.
living in it,
And it's like we were saying, if you have not gone through that, and also the healing work that you've done, you wouldn't be able to relate to people who are going or have gone through deep trauma and be able to help them now, which is what you do.
Yeah.
So what is it that you do in your work today?
Yeah, so I've created the Pain into Power process, and it's trauma informed and somatic based. And I walk women through 5 phases, right? One of them is, really learning where your point A is, all your defense mechanisms, coping strategies, triggers. Like, I just want to know it all. And I want to know what you would love, right? And then we get them on a daily practice. The next step is just really giving them a toolbox with all the tools, so that they can start practicing those as well. Because one way to have power is to be able to self-soothe and self-regulate. That way, in moments where you are triggered, you can still, like, you can honor what you're feeling and still keep moving forward, right? And then the next piece is boundaries, because boundaries is important. The next part of the phase I walk people through is why affirmations don't work, and how to actually make your system in alignment with what you're trying to create, so that, because you can't bypass your system, is basically what I teach people. And it's the missing piece in the secret that they don't really tell you how to fix or do or whatever. But like, if you're not aligned, and if every part of you doesn't feel on board and safe to have whatever that is that you want, then you won't ever have it. Or if you do happen to get it, you might sabotage. So really working through what that is, so you can be in full alignment with your yes. And then the final stage, just helping people work through what I call hydraulics, where they have their foot on the gas, they're headed in this direction, they really want what they're wanting, and they're trying really hard, lots of effort, pushing their foot down on that gas, but they also have a foot hitting that brake. And so they're stuck in the same spot, not getting anywhere. So we really work through resistance to having something and not having it, so that it's just effortless.
Amazing. Just very quickly, Carol says, can you tell us a quick definition of what somatic work is?
Yeah. So somatic work is really addressing the sensations and experiences that you're having in your body. And what happens with trauma is it gets stored in your body. And you have to address that, right? Like, so talk therapy is very, cognitive. It really works the prefrontal cortex. However, when you think of a memory and you're still feeling like that pain in your chest or that feeling in your gut, that means your body's still holding on to that traumatic moment. And there's a part of you still living in that day to day underneath the surface. And so somatic work allows you to go rescue those parts of you, so they're not living in the nightmare anymore. And it also allows you to slowly, little by little, gently release that sensation that is still stuck in your body.
Amazing. Cassandra, how do people connect with you?
On Instagram, you can find me at C_love_Lambert. Or you can also check out the Pain into Power process at Cassandra with a C and 2 S's, lovelambert.com.
Amazing. Cassandra, I know we're going to see more of you, as you're going to be my co-host today. So thank you for volunteering.
Yes.
Crown moments. Claim that crown. Thank you so much, Cassandra. Appreciate it. So Cassandra is my volunteer today for co-hosting this event. And if you're enjoying this, let us know in the chat. There are so many things to celebrating women's voices, celebrating women stepping into their power, claiming their crown. And today is about celebrating women's voices. So Go ahead, leave a comment in the chat how you're enjoying. Maybe you want to come onto our stage one day and be a speaker as well. So let us know, what topics would you be speaking about if you were to be showcased on the Women Thrive stage? I am curious to hear. Okay, my next speaker who I see in the wings is Ella. So Ella Rifkin is a renowned financial expert and a visionary founder of ERPS Group, committed to empowering business owners and individuals to reach their personal, professional, and financial goals. Guided by her core belief, it's all in your hands. She inspires people to take control of their financial futures and create lasting success. Ella, welcome. Good to see you.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thank you so much. This is amazing to be here. I love this.
Welcome, welcome. Well, we didn't send out a memo about the bedazzle because it was very much last second decision and influenced by Miss Cassandra today. But no
Yeah,
doubt
I
you
wish
have
I would have
something.
known, and then I would put up all this. Yeah, all the crowns and the jewels. This is amazing.
No worries. I'm sure we're going to get ready for the summit with the crowns. I'm actually shopping right now on Amazon trying to find my crown because I feel like I'm missing out.
Yeah.
Ella, over to you. I'm super excited to hear from you. You have a powerful message for our audience today, no doubt. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Well, my story is, well, let me have quite a few stories. Let me just imagine this, waking up in the hospital bed after a 6-hour surgery, after bike accident, to the words of your doctor saying that your arm would be paralyzed. So that was my reality back in 2015. I'm waking up in this bed. I'm so much into the pain and this physical, emotional pain. And as I'm laying there, time is all I have at that moment. And I started reevaluating my whole life, as for this past 17 years, I was running and running after success, acquiring, thinking that more money is something that is going to make me happy, going to bring this life that I envisioned for myself. And I'm laying there and thinking that for this past 17 years, I was an absent mother to my kids, an absent wife to my husband. I didn't have time for anyone in my family and my friends, didn't have time for my health. And I was thinking, is that all to the life? And unfortunately, when something tragical happens in this kind of moments, it's then we start reevaluating our life. And that was my moment. And I was laying and I was thinking, what do I do next? I definitely do not want to live like that anymore. Now, going back to where I started and how I started all of that, I came to this beautiful country, to US at age 14, from former Soviet Union with only $100 in my pocket. Yes, you heard me right. It was only $100 in my pocket. But I didn't let that stop me. I just wanted to become so successful. I wanted to make something of myself that I completely submerged. And I thought back then that if I'll become successful, if I earn all this money, then I'm going to be happy. I'm going to have a beautiful life. And that's exactly what I started doing. I graduated college, started as a volunteer and intern in the tax and accounting office. And then I worked all my way up to the partner, and eventually I opened up my own firm and was working and working more and more, harder and harder, longer and longer, and thinking that's the only way to become successful, thinking that's the only way that making more money, it's something that is going to bring me happiness, joy, fulfill me. But now going back to laying there in this hospital bed and reevaluating this whole story, I realized that it's not all about that. And then that night, I made myself a promise that enough is enough. I'm not going to put myself in this situation again. And when the next time, at some point, when the moment comes, I mean, at some point, we're all going to be gone. But, when will be in that kind of situation on my deathbed, then I'm definitely going to look back to my life and I'm going to be proud of it. Proud of what I have achieved, proud of, not materialistically, not money-wise, but proud of the people I have impacted, the life that I had created, what I had give back to others. And surely that night I had all the time in the world without running, thinking about my clients, thinking about how to make more money. I started researching and searching, and surely I came across Tony Robbins. I started learning everything about him, what he did, what he does. And then next came Grant Cardone and all these powerful speakers. And now I'm so excited to be part of the Women's Thrive group. And Raimonda, you are my guru. And I started learning and figuring out how to change all of that. Many of you, probably whoever is listening, I'm pretty sure that my story is not unique. Many of you can relate, feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, and stuck, chasing after that money, after the success. But in reality, it's not your fault. No one teaches us how to live our life, what success really means, what means to be financially free, what means to have money with relationship, how to raise our kids. And what I learned is the first thing that once I got into all of this, I learned that it's not all external, that it was all internal. It was all in me. And once I took that ownership and responsibility and acknowledged that and started taking these massive actions, my life was never the same again. So I'm Ella Rivkin, and I believe that everyone has the power to set themselves free, just like I did. And having the right system in place, having the right mentors, following these mentors, following their footprints, anyone can have that. And today I would like to share these 3 steps that help me to create financial freedom for myself and then start helping others and have that meaningful purpose of life that I'm really enjoying right now. As today my life looks completely different. I get time to spend with my loved ones, with my family, my kids, giving back to the community, educating. In fact, I just came out from the workshop that I was educating my community and sharing. So now I have time not just to work and focus on myself, on beyond survival, but actually to share with the world. So the number 1 step that I would like to share with you that helped me is to overcome this number 1 obstacle of that kept me and blocking me was finding the right people, the right mentors, finding the coaches, that it's being able not just to listen and follow your friends, your co-workers, or your parents that live the same miserable surviving life. Is just to follow those that created the success, and not just to success, earn this money to enjoy their life, but yes, enjoy life, but then sharing with others and bringing others along on this journey. So that was number 1 thing that I learned. And I learned from these business coaches, from these mentors, is how to stop working in the business. In fact, I quit working in the business and I start working on the business. I start working on myself, on my personal development. And once I started doing that, my whole life completely changed. So the second thing that what I learned is to have these financial advisors, the right financial advisors in your team. So it's knowing the numbers. It's being able to identify the numbers, putting right strategies together, putting strategies around tax planning, because unfortunately we all have to be paying taxes. There's 2 things for certain in this life: is paying taxes. Unfortunately, no matter where you live in the world, we're all paying taxes, and death. But we don't want to talk about that. So we want to talk about money, taxes, and We want to keep more of our money in our pockets. And the third thing that helped me is to start investing in a passive income. And what I started doing, I started investing in the multifamily real estate. And today I own over 7,000 units across 10 different states. And what it provided for me, it provided this passive steady income. So this way I don't need to work for money. I learned how to make money work for me. And then this way, instead of just going and working and trading my time for money, I can actually focus on what matters most, is giving back to others. It's teaching everyone in our community so they can create the same life for themselves. So, and these are just 3 steps that worked for me and I just shared them with you. And I believe that everyone can achieve this financial freedom for themselves and then start bringing back and sharing with your community and live the life that we all desired for ourselves and deserve to have. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ella. Thank you for sharing that
Thank
story.
you.
You know, sometimes we see successful women or financially free women and we think, well, it's easy for you to talk about it. You know, you've got it all, you built a successful life. But I love that you started your story and you're like, look, when I came here, I was an immigrant, I had $100 in my pocket and I worked hard and I had to figure out the steps, which now you help others. What's your mission behind the work that you do today? Because money could feel like, okay, that's just shallow, just a little bit shallow to just want that. But what's your real mission behind the work that you're doing?
Oh, love that question. Thank you so much. Well, the real mission is to empower people. My motto by which I live is that it's all in your hands. So it's all in our hands to have absolutely everything. Because in reality, yes, we all want money, but there's a deeper meaning. Why do we want money? It's the choices that money provides to us. So we want to be able to go and spend time with our families, to have these beautiful experiences. Is we able to take care of our health, to have better choices in terms of what we eat, what we do around our health. It's giving back and sharing with others. But unfortunately, if we are in that survival mode where we're trying just to work so we can take care of ourselves, our family, our loved ones, then we cannot help others. We cannot share with others. And this is what I realized for myself, because like when I was just focused on making the living for myself, for my family, even though, yes, it is big, you know, like, and I'm happy and I'm proud of that, that I was able to give to my family what my mom was not able to. She didn't have these opportunities to give to us. But then on the other hand, I believe that each one of us have so much potential to give to others, to share with others. And that's my mission, is that we can actually have it all. We can have a great health, we can have great relationship, be successful, earn this money. And that's why I'm sharing all these steps. But it's just knowing the right formula, this right step where we can start implementing, still earning the money. In fact, actually, when I started implementing all of this, I started making even more money, because it all goes in this cycle, in the flow. When you give to others, there's more comes back to you.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I learned, which I think is incredible. When you start focusing on others and giving back on others, there's so much goodness come back to you.
Yeah, I love that. Ella, amazing. How do people connect with you?
People can find me everywhere on social media: Instagram, Ella Rivkin, Facebook. I'm on YouTube, LinkedIn, everywhere.
I love it. Okay, amazing. Well, you're going to be one of our speakers, VIP speakers at the Women Thrive Summit. So we look forward to your talk. I know it's going to be very empowering. And you know, there is no topic that we don't talk about on this stage. Money empowerment, I believe, is so important for women to have choices, freedom, and success in all areas of our lives. And if that one area is lacking, I feel like we as women are very much in disadvantage and disempowered as well. So I really love what you're doing, what you're sharing. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Raimonda. And I absolutely love what you're doing. And thank you for bringing us all together, providing all this opportunity for us.
Thank you. We look forward to seeing you again very soon. Take care for now.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So this is Ella Rivkin, and if you feel inspired by our speakers and what they're sharing, do make sure you follow up with them on Instagram or Facebook, on whichever platform that they are on. What a great opportunity to build new connections through this community, through the network. And it's not just what you know, but who you know that will help you open doors to new opportunities, new stages, new connections, new knowledge. So I hope you are enjoying this event. Let me know if you're just joining us now. Maybe you're just tapping in halfway through. We are halfway through, and I'm excited that we're halfway through because we still have some amazing, amazing speakers. Now, if you're new to Women Thrive community, I just want to say that welcome. This is a safe space for women to gather, to get together, to share our messages, share our voices. And not only that we do this incredible event every single month, spotlighting the speakers from the Women Thrive Summit. These speakers are going to be spotlighted at the Women Thrive Summit in March, which is our spotlight event of the year. And it is to empower women to rise and thrive in life. Now, a couple other things that we do. We have magazines. So if you love a good read, subscribe to Women Thrive magazine. It is in print and also digitally available on our website at womenthrivemagazine.com. We also have book series. So this is an opportunity for women to share their stories of overcoming adversity. And of course, the Women Thrive TV, which is streamed every single day. And we have some amazing hosts on our platform. I'll ask my tech team to just play a little ad for the Women Thrive TV, and we will be back in just a second. And yes, indeed, all those pictures and the moving motions that you saw, these are community members engaged in different ways, such as events, retreats, doing Thrive Talks, reading a magazine. So you can be part of our community. There are so many things that you can do within our community. And I encourage you to go ahead and visit womenthrivesummit.com or Women Thrive Magazine and just engage, have a look how you can be involved in the community. Now, my next speaker, who's also an upcoming author of one of the Women Thrive books that is going to be launched in February, I'm super thrilled to actually invite Catherine Traff. So Catherine is an alcohol exit strategy expert who's passionate about helping women out of the gray zone drinking and into the healthiest and happiest versions of themselves. After her 17 years of career in neuroscience, she pivoted into entrepreneurship to help others walk away from alcohol and never miss it again. She uses Revive methodology that brings neuroscience, mindset work, and faith practice to completely change their clients' brains, their attitudes, and their entire lives. Catherine, welcome.
Hello, Ramunda, my queen of Women Thrive. Look how amazing you look. I love it.
Thank you.
You never disappoint, Ramunda. I love it.
Well, it was Cassandra's influence, and I am easily influenced.
All right.
When it comes to fun, not alcohol.
That's right. You don't need alcohol to have fun. You're living proof.
Not at all. Catherine, I look forward to your talk today.
Wonderful. So, hi, everyone. The thing I want to start with today is for us Americans. Today marks exactly a week before our Thanksgiving holiday. And one of the things I want to share with all of you today that I'm so incredibly thankful for is last month I had the opportunity to travel to Argentina and realize a 3-year-long dream. I got to ride horses in Patagonia. And that was the trip of a lifetime, as you can imagine. And I was especially thankful for it because the only way that could happen is I had to experience the worst day of my entire career. It was a 17-hour day in the operating room with everything that could go wrong going wrong. And the thing that I did to get myself through that day was I kept telling myself, As soon as I get done, I'm going to go home. I'm going to have this favorite thing to drink. And the day went on and the day went on. Well, 17 hours went by. I never got that drink. And that turned into my day one in my new alcohol-free life. So not only am I thankful for the trip to Argentina and a dream realized, I'm thankful for that awful day. And what I want to share with you too today is think about the times in your life when you've had.
Can you hear me okay? Yeah, okay, let's bring Catherine back. We were just breaking off. I think you're back. So let's try again.
Okay.
Let's go ahead.
Thank you. So what I was trying to tell you before my internet was not cooperating is I want you to think about where you are in your own life right now. And if you're at your own pivot point, maybe you're like me, maybe you have your own gray zone drinking problem. Maybe you are stuck in your life for some other reason. I want you, instead of being frustrated and annoyed by it, I want you to ask yourself, is this really an opportunity? Is this a golden opportunity for me to completely turn my life around right now? And I want you to think about, if it is, what would your life look like a year from now, next Thanksgiving, if you made the changes that you needed to make today? I'm incredibly thankful for that awful day because it gave me the courage to start taking the steps I needed using my neuroscience background, using everything I know about mindset work and my faith practice. I used all three things to help myself walk away from alcohol and not miss it, and starting to build a life that I did love and that I was thankful for. And as a result, I got to be in Argentina last month, realizing a 3-year dream. I want you to realize your dreams. I want you to succeed. I want you to have things to be incredibly thankful for. If you need some help, you can reach out to me. We'll sit down, we'll go through my Revive methodology together, and we'll put a plan together for you and figure out what it is that's most important to you and how to move forward. Thank you so much, everybody. To my American friends, happy Thanksgiving in advance. Thank you, Ramonda.
That's okay. I feel like it just flown by so quickly.
Okay,
and
I hope it made sense with the choppy internet.
And just a little bit. And I saw Cassandra was like, oh my God, you're handling it like a pro. But look, unexpected happens. And I know in your life, there has been a lot of unexpected things that happened. Now, take me back a little bit to that moment when you decided that alcohol was no longer going to be part of your life.
Initially, that day one, I had no idea. It took me to day 3 to realize, oh my gosh, that there's something going on here. And I want to be really, really transparent with everybody. My faith was close to non-existent at that time. But for some reason, I was able to hear the Holy Spirit tell me, now's the time. I was 55 years old in a career that I was burned out. Health was on the skids. I had this gray zone drinking problem that didn't help. And I heard him say, now's the time. And I got shown what my life would look like if I stayed on the same trajectory. And it scared the you-know-what out of me. So that really was the moment when I understood I have to do something different. It was really scary, but I knew I had to do something different.
Wow, Catherine, I know you're on a completely life path now, and you're having all these amazing life experiences. What's on your life trajectory now? What are the things that you feel really excited about in your life?
I've never really spoken before. I had to do corporate presentations once upon a time. But when you accepted me into this program, I've never been in this environment before. So I'm learning so much. I'm so excited about sharing my message and bringing a message of hope that you don't have to wait until your life is in a shambles to walk away from alcohol. And from that place of working in the summit, the women I'm meeting and the connections that we're making, we're finding ways to collaborate so that we can get to women who really need help right now, who need to hear that they are strong, they are powerful, they can do something. Those are the things I'm so excited about, in just the ability to speak in March and bring that message forward feels like it's the springboard to even bigger things.
Yeah. And of course, you're going to be part of the Women Thrive book. And I've read your story in the book, and it's phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you. That was, I've never done anything like that before. And that was an unbelievable experience in so many ways.
I'm so excited. How do people connect with you?
You can find me on my website. It's revivesoberspirit.com. You can find me on LinkedIn. And I would say start on LinkedIn because I'm doing a whole series about my Argentina trip. I want you to see what I got to see, but also some things that trip taught me about taking chances and risks in our life. So you could probably find me on LinkedIn under Catherine Traff.
I love that. Well, I saw a little bit behind the scenes that you shared from Argentina trip. That's very, very intriguing.
It was. I don't have words for you right now. I know I'm supposed to be a speaker and have words for these things. But at the moment, I'm still a little bit overwhelmed by everything that I got to experience there.
Yeah. And, we were saying this morning that it's in the journey that most opportunities to grow and explore and heal and expand that happens. It's not necessarily at the destination. It's not about arriving at a specific destination. It's in the journey. And perhaps that journey is what was so magical and transformational, and you have not arrived at a specific destination post that yet, but it's still percolating and happening for you.
I think you completely nailed it, Ramonda. You're right. Things are unpacking every day that I'm just amazed by, and I think I'll just continue learning more every day that goes by.
Amazing. Thank you, Catherine. I absolutely adore working. You're amazing. And I look forward to seeing you on the summit in March.
Wow.
Much love. I love hanging out with our speakers, and you get to hang out with us right now. So if you're still watching, let us know where you are, who's resonating with you the most. And I'm going to bring back my lovely co-host, Cassandra, because we miss her.
Hey, I really loved what Catherine was sharing, and I'm so curious about her trip to Argentina. So curious.
Yeah. Well, Cassandra, I would love for you to introduce our next speaker. I know you're in a little bit more into the magical world, and I think the next speaker is very much aligned with that. So I'd love for you to introduce her to us.
Yes. So the next speaker is 𝐸∫, and she brings a unique blend of skills and experiences to her work. Her passion lies in coaching individuals to ground their emotions and run their businesses in alignment with their true nature. 𝐸∫ brings a unique blend of skills and experiences to her work. Her passion lies in coaching individuals to ground their emotions and run their businesses in alignment with their true nature. Hi, 𝐸∫.
Hi, Cassandra, and hi, Ramonda, and I'm ready for the coronation.
Yes, you have a crown. Yes, put it on. Yes, join the party.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I'm ready.
Yes, I'm excited to hear what you have to share with us today.
Me too, to be honest, and I can't wait to share it with you, ladies, because it's about my gaslighting story. Well, first of all, hello, everyone. As you know about me, as Cassandra said, I am 𝐸∫, and well, I have a very long story, but let me share with you only the part that really made a difference in my life and in my clients' lives as well. But let me put the crown first. Okay, now I'm ready. So I want to share with you a couple of lessons that I've learned, and then we will break it down into some different pieces. So vulnerability is powerful, but it should be paired with healthy boundaries. Self-worth comes from balancing emotional connections with clear limits. Strong values create a foundation that supports personal and professional growth. Well, I learned those from the hard way. And I was gaslighted by a client of mine. Then she turned into a friend of mine because I don't like working with people in the well-known professional ways. I love making real connections, genuine friendship-alike connections. And with this experience, I learned that it could be catastrophic. So that gaslighting story costed me months of self-work, which was great, but it was like I kind of confined myself from the rest of the world. So I stopped working, and I was approaching to many people with hesitation and doubt. And I was also questioning my mental health, if I was delusional or if I was a bad person. And it really made me feel so low. I prayed to disappear just like that, like vanish from the world. And no one should have everyone should have forgot about me. But when I understood why I had that experience, for the ones who doesn't know about gaslighting, it is a psychological abuse technique. It's like boiling a frog slowly. First, you put it into cold water, and then you start boiling it. And normally, most of the people have those kind of experiences from their bosses, parents, families, partners, someone more closer, So I was so centered and grounded. I was not expecting something from someone that was not in my very inner circle. But I had that experience, and now I know why. And I want you to know that why, because we all have those kind of people in our lives. But even though you don't have those kind of people, if you're an entrepreneur who is like me, and I'm sure if you're here, you love working with people heart to heart. You are maybe an overgiver, or maybe you have or had imposter syndrome, or confused about positioning yourself with your clients. Even though you are an expert, you have a heart and you love making real connections, right? So if you've been somewhere similar to mine, I today want to emphasize one single thing, and then I'm going to finish my speech. All of the things that you are going through, similar to what I just shared, is only because you need to accept that and embrace that. You should set healthy boundaries. And your limits should be visible. Your boundaries should be visible, not just for others, for yourself as well. And not just for yourself, for the others as well. Okay, I want to add one more sentence before, with a last minute decision. Everything we face in our lives carry a message for us, and it is always about our self-worth. If we are living our life from a place of an established self-worth, we don't have boundary issues. So if you are having one, please start working on your self-worth. And thank you for listening to me. Looking forward to connecting you more and more.
Thank you so much for bringing up this topic. It really hits close to home because gaslighting doesn't just happen from family or intimate relationship. It can totally happen with clients. So thank you for speaking to that. How do you help people with this, Kubra?
After my own experience, I started working on myself and I created a 5-step method for that. I use astrology and these 5-step methods together hand by hand, and it really gives a pinpoint kind of like laser focused solutions for individuals. So I work with individuals that way.
Yeah. What advice do you give someone who might be like, oh, wow, yes, I have a client being that with me? How would you tell them to, like, what's a step they could take, an initial step towards that?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. One of the first step is recognizing who you are. You're not delusional. You can make mistakes, but you're not a bad person if you are even like thinking about something like that. So just recognize your own worth, and there are a lot of help out there, not just me. I'm sure there are many other beautiful souls helping out, and I believe loving yourself is the very first solution for that.
Yeah. And do you have a way that you guide people to love themselves more? Because you hear that a lot, right? Like, oh, just love yourself more. How do you guide people to do that, to love themselves more?
Yeah. First of all, we should understand that criticism doesn't boost growth. Actually, it's the opposite. Compassion allows us to love ourselves more and more every day. So it could be through self-care activities. It could be through just not judging yourself, or if you are judging yourself about something, recognizing that judgment and stopping it there and saying, okay, now I feel that way, but I know it's my mind and conditionings making me thinking that way about myself, but I know I have right to make mistakes. So even
Yes. Amen. Yes, we all have a right to make mistakes. What can people look forward to for you at the summit? What can we look forward to for your talk?
For the summit, I'm preparing a surprise, but I still need to do some polishing about this. But I always talk about self-worth. I always work about self-worth, even though I use different methodologies or techniques or whatever. So it will be around that subject, but specifically, I don't have the title yet because I'm going with I don't know, with the feelings. So I will see soon enough. Thank you for
sounds like you're very intuitive, aren't you? You're very intuitively guided and you're in your process. Yeah, I can feel it. How can people find you and follow you?
I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn, so people can find me there or through my website also. And yeah, it's 𝐷𝐸 everywhere. My name and surname.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for being here and sharing your wisdom and your sensitivity. I can tell you have a very kind, sensitive heart and you really care for your clients.
Oh, thank you, Cassandra. So meaningful. And it's so nice to see you shining as usual.
Yeah, and I love that you had a crown. Yes.
Yeah, I love it. So yeah, thank you and goodbye, everyone.
Bye. And we are waiting for our beautiful main host, Raymonda.
Thank you, Cassandra. I love how you just coming in and having fun with your hosting skills.
Yeah. That was an amazing talk she just gave about boundaries, self-worth, gaslighting. Super powerful. Super important.
I think it's something we should be having conversations. And especially in environments where women are being suppressed, those things are not spoken, and it's not necessarily easy to recognize that that is what's happening. Because a lot of times, especially in narcissistic relationships, it does not mean just have to be with your love partner.
Mm-mm.
The
Yeah.
gaslighting can be really subtle.
Oh, for
And
sure. Yeah. It's very culturally, like, it's when I look out at the world, it's very it's been passed down through generations, right? So it's transgenerational, the gaslighting thing, and it's just really prevalent in our culture, that most people don't even realize that they're doing it. And so it happens more than just in the intimate relationships. And one of the best ways I've found to support yourself, especially in those moments where you feel crazy, is to write down what someone said or did. And then you can refer back to it when they try to deny it or change the story. That's always been really helpful with me when it came to someone gaslighting, especially the moment where you're like, am I crazy? Like, and then, yeah, that helps you pull out of it.
absolutely. Well, we've got lovely Carol waiting in the wings. She is quite a boss lady,
Oh, yes.
quite an amazing lady.
Yeah.
Would you like to introduce Carol, Cassandra?
Yeah, I would love to introduce Carol. She's one of my pod buddies. So Carol Podell is a life transition strategist and host of the podcast She Takes the Lead. And she is also a fertility warrior and a very proud single mom by choice. Carol helps ambitious working moms navigate major life transitions, showing them how to confidently write their next chapter with intention, joy, and in a way that honors who they truly are. Yes, Carol, I'm so excited to have you on here.
Thank you,
And
my
look at
friend.
you! Oh my gosh, you look amazing.
Thank you. I joined the Red Lipstick Club.
Yes, it looks so good. And I love this white that you're wearing and your hair.
Oh, you can't have skulls without roses. You just,
Yes,
it's just
so
not it.
good. Yeah.
Also, my daughter has a lot of those sparkles, which I steal when I can, but she did an audit on how many she has. And if I were to go, I went to go take one and then I was like, she's going to kill me.
Oh my God,
She
that's so
will kill me.
precious.
So I will get some for myself next.
Yes. Yes, you have to get some for yourself. And I'm excited to hear what you have for us today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to I feel like boundaries was like a perfect segue into this next piece that I want to talk about, which is I'm a huge people pleaser, like huge. I mean, and it stops me from making decisions all the time and has for my life. The irony is that I've lived a life where the decisions that I have, or the life that I have led is actually something that most people really decide. I was an actress, I was a singer, then I was a television producer, then I moved my life into finance and into financial services, and I had a baby on my own, and I did all of these things. And the truth is that I'm awful at making these decisions. I'm terrible at it. And I'll tell you even more of a secret. When I was acting, I had a big audition and I didn't get it. And I got feedback, and it was that I was afraid to take a risk. And for an actor, when you go out on stage, you take a risk by making a choice about who that person is. And I didn't even know what they meant until I was 35. And I was married and pursuing a career and supporting my family and supporting a greater goal than my own and trying to have a baby with my ex-husband. And the marriage wasn't going so well anyway. And he said, I don't think I want to have any children. And I said, okay. And he said, okay, what? And I said, okay, you can go. And that was the first decision I've ever made in my entire life. And I say this, and I say this about boundaries because there are so many pieces, so many elements that I hold, that we hold, that do not allow us to even understand what our boundaries are yet, or the decisions around what we do want. And, you know, as I said, I've changed my career, I've changed my relationships, I've changed my entire life, really. I mean, even trying to have her took me 12 years. And 4 years on fertility to have my daughter, which I finally did. And she's 6 and she's beautiful and healthy and everything. But had I not had that clarifying moment of knowing what I wanted, my life would have been very, very, very different. And my life now, even if I still can't, I go to Starbucks, I know exactly what I'm going to order. And I still look at the menu every time, because I just feel like I need to know all the options. But the truth is, in order to hold the boundaries, in order to move forward in your life, in order to make a big, meaningful change, make a big, meaningful decision in your life, you need to have an idea about your values. And I don't mean values like good or bad. I mean what you're about. Family is a big value for me, you know? And I say all of this because, you know, we're a week away from Thanksgiving in the United States, and we're a week away from the end of the year. And we've got a new year coming. And regardless of whether you are, you know, linear or woo-woo, right? I'm kind of in the middle. This is a big deal. This is an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity to revive, to refresh, and to sort of start anew. And people start doing New Year's resolutions now. And I used to do New Year's resolutions, and generally the New Year's resolution was to lose 10 pounds, right? Like that was my New Year's resolution every year. And at some point, I stopped because I make decisions all the time, because I got into my body how? Because I understood who I am, and it gave me the tools, and this is really important, to move forward with the decisions I make, because they were important enough and necessary enough, and I was clear enough on how to make them. So once I decided to have my child, I knew how that felt. So I was able to say, this is not supporting me. I want to change my career. I was able to say, I want to run a marathon. Doesn't matter why. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of it. I want to run it. And I did. It made me realize that I am worth knowing who I am, putting in the time and the work, and then moving forward. And with the new year coming around, this is the time to make some decisions around how you want the new year to be. This is where you set your intentions. This is where you strategize what you want your life to look like, so you can live with intention, so you can change with intention, so you can have joy while making big changes. So I offer this. You have it's the 21st of November till December 31st. I ask that you sit down and look at your values. And I'm going to tell you real fast a quick trick. Go to Google and Google value system and see what comes up. Just look at the list. And for 10 minutes, go through and pick out every single one you want. And then 5 minutes after that, go through that list and pick out 3 to 5, because we really only have 3 to 5. And sit down and look at those 3 to 5, and then go through what you're thinking you want in the new year and say, are those goals aligned with the values that I have, that I want for myself, that are important for me now? And if they're not, if you're being dictated by somebody else's desire, somebody else's happiness, somebody else's need, or somebody else's value system, I challenge you, I offer it to you, and I invite you to breathe into it and be true to yourself and refocus onto you, so you will be able to be aligned with your own values and transition into the person you want to be. That's what I got.
Carol, that moment you described was so powerful, with the husband and like leaving and just choosing what your heart was guiding you toward. That's so courageous. It gave me goosebumps. Wow.
Thank you. It's you when you're living for other people, when you're people pleasing, when you're so concerned with what somebody else is gonna think of you or do for you, it gets blurry. You don't know what you don't know what you want. And it isn't until you really
after that moment, right? Your whole life changed after
completely.
that. Yeah.
Because I had in my body, I was like, oh, this is what a choice means. This is what that is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I never knew it before that. Like I was busy making sure the Starbucks guy was happy that I was reading the menu, that I was considering his work. I mean, it's insane. It's not it's nobody's asking me to do this. And he wasn't even asking. But, we need to align.
Yeah, I love that part about alignment and with the values. And I know you were sharing some of that with me yesterday too. How do you help your clients with this, with boundaries, with their values and becoming more aligned? How do you help them?
There are steps towards getting there, because it's really about like, you have to understand who you are, and that doesn't have to be about anybody else, and you don't even need to tell anybody else what those values are. Your values could be cigarettes. I hope not, because it's a terrible habit, but my point being, and then you go through and there are steps to take where you work on your values. Then you look at the values that aren't working, and then you see, do I have supportive people around me? Do I, am I keeping my boundaries intact? And most critically, with all of this now, am I moving forward toward that value? And that last piece is really, a decision is not a decision until it's put into action. And that's really what I do when I'm working with my clients, is really get them from that idea between the spiritual and the linear, the creative and the linear, into what are we doing on a daily basis towards this now, today, which is why the new year is so perfect,
Yeah, so you really help them plant those seeds and ground it so it can actually grow and become into fruition, into reality. That's really powerful, especially with the new year, right?
Yeah.
What can we expect from you for the summit?
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited about this summit. Well, similarly, I do focus on transitioning, and that's the wrong, not that kind of transitioning. I do focus on life transitions. And so it will be similar to that. I'll expand on my 5 principles of the clarity advantage, and the advantage of clarity, and how it can move you towards freedom, intention, and joy in your personal life, in your romantic relationships, in your friendships, in your business, in all aspects. When you are clear with what these pieces are, and then the steps to take towards that, then it's executing, and it's really executing in each piece of your life. So that's really what I'm going to be focusing on at the summit.
Yeah, I love that part that you help people get to clarity, because until we're in clarity, we're kind of sometimes just mulling over in indecision, and that can be a place of suffering, right? How can people find you? Where would you like people to go?
Well, I would love people to come and say hi to me I'm on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok at Carol Hodel TikTok. I still don't understand it, but it's fun. I had my best friend's 21-year-old daughter come and teach it to me about 1.5 years ago. And I love it. And then you can also find me my podcast, which is on all the platforms that you listen to podcasts. It's called She Takes the Lead. And you can watch it. I'm starting to air the video with it on She Takes the Lead podcast on YouTube. So find me either. Drop me a DM. I'd love to hear from you, and find out where you're trying to get clear, and what's working and what's not.
Yeah. So powerful. Thank you so much, Carol.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Straighten that crown.
I kind of like it a little crooked,
Oh, that wasn't actually me saying straighten it. It was more like a, let's get that straightened crown.
I kind of like things a little off,
Yeah.
Life is a little off, and keeps you on your toes, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, one more thing. Sorry. A shout out to the Karens, based on what Devin said before, because I'm a Carol, and we're 2 or 3 down.
Very similar.
We are 2 or 3 down, and I got called out by some jerk who was being nasty to me and called me a Karen, and I was like, "Yo, I'm Carol," and it was the most powering thing I've ever done. Anyway, I'm enjoying this tremendously. I will let everybody keep going.
I think we're super proud, right? Super proud mother hen moment right now.
I was like, dude, yeah, that's right.
Listen, I can't say I'm speechless, but I am loving it. And I love that we get to have a host who is also here to have a chat. Carol, you're just amazing. I love what you just said. Like, well, I told him to just go. I'm like, okay. That's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't even a thing. It didn't require, it's not brave. It's just the moment. Thank
Oh,
you.
I love
Yeah,
it.
such a good. I love today's like talks. It's been incredible with all of the topics that link together, but also are so diverse in where they're birthed from.
Yeah, and I always say that we always have a theme without even knowing. There is definitely a theme here today. So I'm curious to hear from you, audience, in the chat. What do you think? What was the theme that stood out for you? Because there's been a lot of things that was said today, and we're celebrating Karens today. We're totally celebrating you, putting a crown on you, crowning Karens. Come on out to play.
Come on out. There we go.
I would say boundaries was a huge theme for today, for this part of the segment. Boundaries.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Amazing. Carol, thank you so much. I love it. I can't wait to see you on the summit. We're going to be hanging out in the meantime.
Excited. I haven't met anybody in person. This is insane. I mean, a gift, but also just cray-cray.
Yeah, we are going to be doing actually some in-person events in 2025. So just to let our audience know, we do first Thursday of the month, we do a virtual networking event where you can meet a lot of our speakers there and other community members. So I know today is all about streaming to our platforms because we want to reach a wider audience. So Carol, I'll just take you off for just a moment. Go ahead.
I've been
Oh, she's been live streaming. You've been live streaming.
I have. I got so caught up. I've been live streaming it. Say hi.
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 Wrong direction. Here. Where are they? Yeah, you can see. Okay. You'd think I'd be better at this.
I love it.
Yeah, these are some amazing people on here in both areas.
So this is Carol. I love it. Before I was saying that we do our networking event, and today we were streaming, so you only get to tap in to watch all the talks. Isn't my internet?
I can see you. Can you see me?
Okay, great. So I was just saying that first Thursday of the month, I think it's going to be 6th of December, we are going to be doing our special Christmas networking event. So make sure you are there. We're going to be hosting that on Zoom. Bring your sparkles, bring your crowns, bring the fun, the pom-poms and all. And that's where you're going to get to connect with our speakers and community members. So that's going to be a special one. Make sure you are booked in the diary, booked in our diary to attend this event. Cassandra, we will be back just before the event closes if you still have another 10 minutes before the show ends. So my next speaker, I'd love to introduce my next speaker who has been waiting in the wings, and she does have a literal crown. So it's quite fun, and we're going to find out why. So Danette Hag is an inspirational speaker, soul-strengthening mindset coach, trauma mentor, and published author. Overcoming a severe burn injury from a house explosion as a young child, Danette transformed her life and now inspires others with her remarkable journey. Hello, Danette. How are you?
Oh, I've just been listening, and it's just been an awesome event. Thanks for having me on, Ray. And I do have my crown. I cannot wear it because I no longer have the rain, but I thought I'd have it in the background because it's the
Can we see it? Can we see it?
Oh my goodness. There it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. Tell us more. So before you begin, tell us more about your official crown.
I was Mrs. Colorado in 2021. Yeah.
Wow.
And
amazing.
Miracles happen. Miracles happen.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, Danette, I'll hand it over to you and I'll be back to have a chat at the end.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Raymonda. I am Danette, and I call myself Beauty from Ashes. I consider myself an expert in rising above any life scar. I everything that I do as an inspirational speaker, a soul strengthening mindset coach, and even through my book, I share all that I learned from being severely burned as a child. I was in a house explosion as a little girl. And as you can imagine, after being severely burned, like the challenges that I faced every day, not only just fighting for my life and those kind of things physically, but also having to showcase my scars to the world and try and like find myself again. So, but what I figured out is that all of those challenges have actually become my greatest gift because they led to some major life wisdom that I have transformed into figuring out how to turn the impossible things in life actually possible. And that crown that I just showed you is one example of that. You know, life tells us and our world tells us that scars are ugly. But I was able to just kind of demolish these societal beauty norms that we've all kind of fallen under. I've crushed them because our beauty really does shine from inside. And that's what that crown behind me proves, that when we work on ourselves and polish ourselves from the inside, that's where our beauty really comes from. One of the pivotal choices that got me that crown and other things that seemed impossible for a long time was learning how to flip my inner script. Now, we all have heard that and probably know that a negative mind will never create a positive life, right? And I wanted a positive life, much like I'm sure you did as well. You do as well. And so I had to learn how to creatively flip my inner script so that I had the power to make impossible things possible. And one of the ways I did that, so every day of my life, the last 43 years since I was 10 years old, I have been stared at every single day, every time I leave the house, stared at in that kind of weird, awkward way, right? And it used to just crush me, like for a really long time, because someone would stare in that awkward, weird way, reacting to my scars. And I would automatically think, oh, they see my scars and they think I'm ugly and they think I'm weird and they're going to start calling me names and they're certainly rejecting me. They don't want me around, right? And so my brain would just go into this spiral. And I wanted to just run out of there, right? And hide. After like living that way for about 20 years, I figured a couple things out. You know, they're staring at me. I really don't know what they're thinking. So I decided to take those reins into my own hands. And I started telling myself something different. I would come up with things like, you know what, I'm actually having a really good hair day today. Now, that doesn't always happen. So I would celebrate that and go, yeah, that's why my hair actually looks good today. That's why she's staring at me. Or I have this cute new outfit and she's wondering where I got it. Or maybe they're admiring what a great mom I am. Pouring into my children if we're, the grocery store, at the park. Maybe they're admiring that about me. So when people stare at me now, I've learned how to come up with creative ways to stand taller who I am and not let those really difficult daily situations steal my joy. For the last 5 years or so, I've elevated that even more. And I think this is partially, to thank. This mindset is very much partially to thank why I got that title of Mrs. Colorado. Is now I see my scars as God's masterpiece of art. Now, when you see a piece of art, like a painting or a statue, something very unique, you have to stop and stare at it, don't you? I like the word admire better than stare, by the way. Words have power. So when you see artwork, you have to stop and admire it. And maybe you learn something from it. Maybe it helps you smile or think deeper, or it just impacts you in some way, even in those few seconds. So now when I go out and someone stops to stare at me, I'm like, oh, they're just admiring God's handiwork. What happened to me when I walked through fire so long ago. And I don't have to say a word. I usually just smile and move on and maintain my joy and my peace. It creates this beautiful situation that would be majorly awkward for everyone involved. And I allow them space to learn, and I show them what true beauty really is even more by offering them grace and peace and understanding. So I'm encouraging you to really be honest with yourself. Where can you benefit from God's a masterpiece of art kind of thinking in your life? to elevate your life, to invite in more peace, and to really even possibly make whatever you feel like is impossible in front of you possible. I am Danette, Beauty from Ashes, and it's just been such a joy to be here.
Danette, I am celebrating you. Thank you so much for sharing these words of wisdom that I think are powerful reminders to change the script inside of our head.
It's our choice. We forget it's our choice. And I was in the habit for so long of just go, oh yeah, that's right, they're staring at my scars. Oh yeah, that's right, they're staring at my scars. And with this being really creative and flipping that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, they're staring at my scars. They're admiring me. It's a shift. And it was mine to make. No one else could do it for me. We can't control how other people react to us, but the power is in how we control how we react to the world and how we know and understand our own value, our own beauty, and our own power.
Yeah. And, without that, you could become a bit resentful to people and going out and even to yourself.
Right.
But by doing so, you almost show up in a different light. And by doing that, you allow people to see the happy, the fulfilled, confident person, and then they fall in love with you even more.
Well, and there's a quote that says our scars are the things that let, the broken parts of us are the things that let the light in, right? I feel like it's what lets my light out. And we have this beautiful choice to make a positive impact. And what I know is people don't want to be my friends because of my story or because my hair looks perfect or because I'm a perfect size. They want to be close to me because of the light that I shine. And isn't that the impact that we want to have on people around us? And it all starts with whatever we're telling ourselves. A lot of people who have a severe burn injury, like me, I was burned 70% of my body. A lot of them choose things like alcohol and drugs, suicide even, because of how we're reacted to, people react to us out in public. I could have gone down those roads, but I have made this choice of something different, and I wanted a state beauty pageant title instead. So we can really make the impossible possible.
Yeah, I love that you just. Hey, sorry, my apologies. I interrupted you there. I love that you just went for a beauty pageant. That's just incredible. What's your mission today?
My mission in everything I do is that other people see their value no matter what. Find it, polish it, admire themselves first, and figure out to heal the parts of them that need healing and take ownership of that. But also that we all have the power to see the world, to see ourselves and where we fit into it, however we want. We have that power.
What's the name of your book?
It's Beauty from Ashes, Transforming Wounds into Wisdom, Scars into Stars.
Oh, wow. What a beautiful name. Danette, what can people expect at the Women Thrive Summit from you?
Oh, more of this, telling stories like this to hone in the tools and the life skills to be able to rise above any life scar, finding the courage in the cracks and really building resilience and a strength that is soft and approachable, but stronger than ever. And that's what I want to teach when I speak at the summit.
I love it. Thank you, Danette. Appreciate it. It's been amazing to see you today on our stage.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity, Ray. It's always great to see you.
I love it. Thank you. And this wraps up the Women Thrive Unleashing the Power of Women Voices event. So many amazing stories and speakers. So I want to ask you, the audience, what stood out for you today? What was the theme of today that really touched your heart and your soul? And maybe there was one speaker that really stood out for you. Let us know in the chat. And I'm going to bring back my amazing co-host who influenced today's Bedazzle.
Yes, the tassels and the crowns. Yeah, the talks are amazing. I just love when Danette talks all the time, the courage and the craft. She has so many beautiful, articulate metaphors. Like even like the mindset shift of my scars or the art, and just like God creates like landscapes and art, like my skin is my art. It's just, I love everything she says. And when you speak to like what stood out to me was really at the core of it, even below boundaries, is like owning your worth as a woman.
Yeah. I think it really stood out. Just, yeah, owning that part from so many different experiences of women. So imagine all the speakers today were from different parts of US, different parts of the world. And I would say that there was so much more that unites us than separates us. So even though everybody was so different from different stages of their lives and experiences, yet there are some things that united us today. What do you think that truly unites us as women, Cassandra?
It's really like we get to exist. We're allowed to be here. We're allowed to exist. We're allowed to be all that we are. We're allowed to feel. We're allowed to make mistakes. We're allowed to be messy. We're allowed to be Carols and Karens. We're allowed to just be and exist and have worth and be loud. You don't get to silence us. We're gonna keep talking. We're gonna roar like lionesses. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what this community is all about, coming together. So if you're watching this, come and hang out with us, be part of the community, be part of the events that we're holding, especially dedicate some time between 17th and the 21st of March, which is when our annual Women Thrive Summit is going to be happening. You will be meeting all of our amazing speakers. It is going to be happening live, virtually, but live. So you get to interact in the Zoom room, not like this in a Zoom room. You get to connect with everybody. And it's going to be a transformative, life-changing event. I know it because we've been doing this for 5 years. I've seen lives transformed. And there is a reason, there is divine magic, like when we heard Kayleen speak at the very beginning of this event. There is divine intervention that happens in your life, and someone will drop a piece of wisdom, a pearl that you have not been expecting. They may open that light, they may open those cracks of healing and support you on this journey, and your life will be transformed. I promise you, I know this. There's a reason why you're here. If you're still here and watching us, there's a reason why you end up in certain rooms and meet certain people and you are inspired and cross paths with them. And I believe that when we speak our truth, own who we are unapologetically, and wear those crowns of our wisdom and our true, amazing essence, we can step into our superpower. And when we do that, we can change the world. And some of the women I've spoken to today, they had some big, audacious goals of empowering millions of lives around the world. And the way to do that is by starting a ripple effect. You impact one person's life, second person's life, and that person then impacts many, many other lives beyond that. So it may start with just one thing that you do today, and I call on you to say, what are you going to do to start a ripple effect, to make a difference? The first thing you can start with is start with yourself, because that's where it really begins. Setting boundaries, being true and honest about what is it that you want, and just calling the shots, speaking your truth, stepping out into the spotlight, and being the magic that you're meant to be in this world.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts from you, Cassandra, before we close out?
I just love that part about be the magic that you are. It's like this constant remembering of who you really are, and really tuning into that and letting it shine, right? Letting it shine out through your energy.
Amazing. Cassandra, thank you so much for being my co-host today. I'm looking forward to doing many more amazing things together. Of course, meeting in person as well. We are taking our events in person next year, so keep an eye out for our announcements on social media and emails. So we'll be announcing a few events very, very soon. Thanks to all of our speakers who showed up unapologetically, spoke their truth, spoke to our audience today, and to our audience who stayed with us throughout this event. Thank you so much. What I would love to ask you is to leave comments, leave some flowers for those who you enjoyed today, and also share this live. We want to create a much bigger ripple effect in this world, and we would love to have you come back for our virtual networking event on the 6th of December. Bring your pom-poms, bring your bedazzles. And before we go, I want to take a picture with my co-host. This has been so much fun. Thanks to all of our Women Thrive team and everyone behind the scenes who supported us, and to all of you who were here today. Thank you all so much, and we hope to see you again on another